everyone, welcome to the Seattle Coffee Gear YouTube channel. I'm John, and today we're talking about frothing pitchers. Before we get started, if you're interested in coffee gear, you want to learn more, subscribe to our channel. We're always putting out new videos. Basically anything coffee is what we're all about. So subscribe to our channel to be notified of when we're putting out new content. This video is for somebody who might already have an espresso machine or is looking for accessories to purchase with their espresso machine and has questions about what frothing pitcher is best. We decided to highlight 3 options that we sell at seattlecoffeegear.com and talk about some of the pros and cons of them, what might be better for you, and why you might choose one over the other. The 3 options we have with us today are the Rhino Coffee Gear Professional Frothing Pitcher, the Rocket Espresso Frothing Pitcher, and the fellow Eddy Frothing Pitcher. These are all a bit smaller, so if you like your drinks on the small side, think like a cortado or a 5-ounce cappuccino, these pitchers will be great for those sizes. If you like larger drinks, like say a 12-ounce latte, I would recommend a larger pitcher. I have this 20-ounce Rhino Coffee Gear pitcher. This is great for those larger drinks like a 12-ounce latte, as I mentioned. For a drink that size, you're probably gonna be using about 8 to 10 ounces of cold milk and then expanding that volume by 20 to 30% depending on your preferences. So this will hold that milk easily, won't make a mess, and allow you to get some good clearance to pour latte art. Let's talk about these 3 pitchers and why one of these specifically might be a better fit for you. These pitchers do hit a couple different price points. If you want to see the exact price of each, you can follow links in the description to see each product on our website. Starting off, we have our more budget-friendly pick in the Rhino Coffee Gear Professional Frothing Pitcher. This pitcher is well built and well designed. You can tell it's well made by looking at how the handle lines up with the tip of the spout. When these 2 things are well aligned, it makes it easier to get symmetrical latte art. This pitcher also has handy volume markings on the inside of the pitcher to help you minimize milk waste. If you know how much milk you need for a drink, you can hit that mark each time and avoid dumping out milk after you finish pouring your drink. The spout of your pitcher also has an impact on latte art. We'll talk about that more later, but just remember that this pitcher has a spout that's kind of in between something very rounded and something pointy like the next 2 options. Next up, we have the Rocket Espresso Frothing Pitcher in this matte white. It has the Rocket logo on it, and this is a very European style frothing pitcher. The other 2 pitchers we have here are more American or specialty coffee style, while this is more of a traditional European frothing pitcher. If you look at the spout on this pitcher, it is very rounded, and that's going to impact the kind of latte art you can do. I do find that this one is a little bit heavier because of its slightly larger size, and it also seems like the metal is a slightly thicker gauge. If you like rocket aesthetics and you want something that's gonna match your beautiful espresso machine, this could be a good option. If you're not as concerned with being a latte art pro and being able to do the styles of coffee that you see in coffee shops, this is a great option. It looks beautiful, it is functional, and can do some very specific latte art styles. Last up in our lineup is my personal preference, and that's the fellow Eddy. This pitcher looks very unique and minimalist. It doesn't have much of the normal creases and shapes you see on a frothing pitcher. The handle is very well aligned with the spout. It even has a small indent on the top of the handle that fits your thumb perfectly if you like to hold the pitcher like I do. The spout on this pitcher is pointier than the other 2, which allows for a lot more precision when pouring latte art. If your latte art goals include trying to pour designs with finer lines and more detail work, something with a pointy spout like this fellow pitcher would be a great fit for your needs. Let's go ahead and froth some milk with each of these pitchers, and then we'll show some designs in latte art that work best for these different styles. We're gonna start out with the Rhino Coffee Gear pitcher, and I'm gonna fill it up with about 4 ounces of milk. If my cup volume is 5 ounces, that means I will have a bit of waste, but it is tricky to avoid waste with these smaller drinks. If your pitcher doesn't have markings on the inside of it for volume, you can also reference the bottom of the spout of the pitcher as a way to know how much milk you're adding to it. Looking in this pitcher, I can see that it's just about a ½ inch from the bottom of the spout. So if I find that that's a good volume for my preferred drink size, I'll remember that as a reference point for the future. Now that I have my pitcher filled up, let's go ahead and steam this milk and brew some espresso and show you what latte art looks like with this Rhino Coffee Gear Pro Frothing Pitcher. This Rocket Espresso pitcher I have here is a little bit larger, so I'm gonna be using a slightly larger cup for my drink. For this pitcher, I'm gonna fill it up about to where this shoulder starts on the pitcher, and that's gonna be my reference point for this pitcher and the cup I'm using. Now that I have my Rocket Espresso frothing pitcher filled up, let's steam some milk and brew some espresso into this slightly larger cup, and we'll show you what latte art looks like with the round spout on this pitcher. This fellow pitcher doesn't have any sharp edges that you could reference for fill lines, but it does have markings on the inside of it that show you 10, 8, and 6 ounces. For the drink size I'm pouring here, I'm gonna fill it below that 6 ounce mark, and just remember that I'm about a ½ inch below that mark. Let's go ahead and steam this milk and make a drink, and we'll show you what latte art looks like with this fellow Eddy pitcher. Well, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you learned something about frothing pitchers and latte art. If you're curious about latte art and how to improve your skills, we have a whole series of videos that we did on different latte art designs. So if you want more info on that, there's a link in the description to that. You'll also find links to the products that we talked about today, as well as a link to sign up for our email newsletter. If you're looking for more info about coffee equipment, sales and promotions coming up, or anything SCG related, make sure to sign up for that newsletter. As a thank you for signing up, we'll also send you a coupon that's good for 10% off one item. That does have some exclusions to it, so be sure to contact our sales team about that or any other questions you might have. Thank you so much once more for watching, for supporting our channel, for supporting Seattle Coffee Gear. I hope you have a great rest of the day and keep making coffee you love.